We're always learning in Formula One, as are the teams, the drivers and the constructors, and with so many aerodynamic changes there's plenty of learning to be done. So here at GPFans we thought we'd put together a special for today about what we learnt from testing in Bahrain. Remember of course to follow us as we build up to the start of the new season here at the YouTube channel, but let's dive into everything that we learnt last week before we get ready for the new racing season. The test week in Bahrain officially kicked off on Thursday morning last week. The Bahrain International Circuit was open to cars at 8 AM, but there was plenty of noise around the track before then. Mercedes' new look W13 was causing quite a stir with its stripped down minimalistic side pods. By cleverly eliminating the cooling systems, the German constructor had created a narrow fighter jet looking craft, although due to the ground effect, porpoising was still prevalent when it hit the track, although plenty of teams were still getting to grips with the bouncing effect on their own vehicles. The best comparison of the Mercedes design is to the old Formula 3 cars, but instead of two bumps, they had completely disappeared. It'll be interesting to see how it runs flat out going into the first racing weekend coming up on Sunday. The Mercedes design reignited the fire between them and Red Bull Racing in the war of the words, especially with Christian Horner, who was quick to pass comment that the new no side pods design of his rivals was surely illegal, although the Red Bull boss was quick to roll back on his comment via a Red Bull press release that said the comments made by their team principal weren't in any interview and therefore were incorrect. Here we go again. Toto Wolff laughed off the incident, but it sets an early tone for these two once again going at it in the media off the track. A new look for Haas in a winter that has seen continuous changes for the constructor. With the Uralkali logo and Russian flag design gone, along with driver Nikita Mazepin, the Americans took on a new design to their livery for Bahrain, a clean white body with red and black accents, and it looks pretty damn good too. Staying with Haas, and after a frustrating time in Barcelona with Russia's invasion of Ukraine sparking a political storm around the team, the constructor would have hoped that Bahrain would perhaps be a little quieter for a week. But no, before Kevin Magnussen could be announced as the team's new replacement for Nikita Mazepin and bring some joy to their section of the paddock, Bahrain's testing week was already behind schedule thanks to a delayed shipment of their equipment, meaning Haas would miss the opening morning of Thursday's action. The team asked to be able to do some extra miles on Sunday to make up for the lost time, but McLaren weren't having any of it. Instead, the extra hours were made up on Friday and Saturday evenings instead, with Steiner saying, "The rules say it has to be 3 days in a row, and there has to be a unanimous vote that we can do it. Otherwise, we can't do it." However, it wasn't so bad. Magnussen set the fastest time in the extra hours on Friday's session to hopefully give Haas a little bit of joy, and maybe they're a touch happier than they were a couple of weeks ago. Nicholas Latifi was on fire this week in Bahrain, but not in the way Williams were hoping for. While on a hot lap, smoke started to appear from the back of his car. After initially being told to brake as little as possible and slowly get back to the pit lane, Latifi had to ditch the vehicle on the side of the road, and with the car at a standstill and no cool air rushing over the brakes to keep them down, the flames grew around the rear of his car and were getting bigger and bigger. Thankfully, the fire was extinguished rather quickly, but the damage to the rear of the car was extensive and Latifi didn't return for the remainder of the Friday. Apparently, the fire was caused, according to team principal Jos Capito, by something that's too stupid to talk about. A costly mistake for a Williams team that were already playing catch-up going into this winter. And finally, Red Bull Racing showed us some new side pods on Saturday as Sergio Perez showed us a leaner, meaner RB18 compared to earlier in the week. Inspired maybe by the changes to Mercedes' design or just part of their own development, the Mexican driver took to the track in a faster version of what we had seen previously, with his car apparently, according to the rumour mill, a great deal lighter than previous iterations. That, combined with Max Verstappen setting the fastest time of the final session, left the last laugh coming from Red Bull. But testing is, well, it's testing We need to ignore the numbers and focus on what happens this coming weekend. You can stay with us for all of the action in Bahrain, of course, by hitting the subscribe button down below, and follow us on gpfans.com and at gpfansglobal on Twitter and Instagram. We can't wait. We just want to go racing again.